Today, our topic is a very interesting one. I'm sure you know the topic and you have heard of the topic. It is family restoration with physical and spiritual. Post-COVID. Looking at family restoration after COVID. But I think that we don't only need family restoration after COVID. Even now, some families need to be restored. Very beautiful topic we need to reflect on. So this section will be we have part 1 and part 2. So in the part 1, we are going to focus on the physical restoration of the family. So part 1, as we are doing now, we shall look at the physical restoration of the family. Then in part 2, we shall look at the spiritual restoration. So let us open our minds as we listen to this thing. There could be things we have heard before or things we have read about before, but this time it comes in a different way to us. Family restoration, physical and spiritual, part 1. Good. So what is the part 1 going to entail? We're going to look at the physical restoration of a family. My dear friends, I believe that one of the most beautiful gifts God has given humanity is family. Family is one of the most beautiful thing God has given humanity. Think about it. Think about it. That everyone who is born into this world is born into a family. Nobody is born out of a family. And even God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit live in a family. They live in the communion of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And so they are going to be the standard, or the family of God, the Trinity, is going to be a standard for measuring our family, to see whether our family needs to be restored or not. One thing I know is this, that if someone is very hungry, very, very, very hungry, but unfortunate for the person is sick and cannot eat, it doesn't matter the food you put before him or her. Add whatever spice you want to put into it. Add the biggest chunk of fish, the biggest chunk of meat. Decorate the food, to look nice and attractive. The person is hungry anyway, but loses appetite. That person cannot eat. It doesn't matter the cane you raise, you want to lash him or you force her, the person will just not eat. Why? Because the person has lost appetite. In other words, the person is sick. The person is sick, you cry, you don't cry, he will not eat. You force him, you don't force him, he will not eat. Because something is wrong. On the other hand, if we have someone who even is not hungry, and he sees a very nice food prepared, say, wow, wait there, maybe. Whether he's hungry or not, he wants to eat because he is healthy, he is strong, and he has the appetite for it. Have this picture in mind. This is what we are going to talk about today. A healthy family and unhealthy family. It is only when the family is unhealthy that is when it needs restoration. Hello? Do you understand? If the family is not unhealthy, if the family is not broken down, why does it need restoration? We are restoring it because it is sick. We are restoring because something has gone wrong with the family. I believe that as we all sit here, we are doing our best to give the best to our family. We are doing all we can so that our families stand. Yet, things are not going on well. You have done all that you can. I have given all the money. I have bought all the gifts. I pay the fees. I pay utilities. I do everything. Yet, the family does not seem to be like a healthy family. It is like that young man who is sick and you have bought him food to eat. He can't eat. Why? Because he's sick. So what he needs is the doctor. He needs to see the doctor. He needs to be restored. He needs medication. Until we do something about it, the situation cannot change because the guy is sick. The family is sick. There are some people who think that, oh, maybe I have to buy gifts for my wife and things will be fine. You bought gifts, still. You've done this for the children, still. You have bought car, still. You have rented the most beautiful apartment, still. Things are not well. And the family is not the way you want it to be. I have prayed, still. It needs restoration. You need to pay attention to what is wrong. Until that is taken off, you do anything, it will not. You know, the Nigerians have a very beautiful saying that until the rotten tooth is removed, the mouth must continue to chew with caution. So if there's something wrong with the family, if there's something wrong, don't overlook it. Don't push it aside. Don't say, oh, by time it will get better. Deal with it, confront it, solve it, and that is the restoration we are talking about. Let's look at Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Genesis 2:24. Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. And let's look at the way God made marriage and intended it. Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. I read, it says, that is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united with his wife, and they become one. A man leaves his father and mother and joins to his wife, and the two become one. A man and a woman make marriage. The first thing we need to consider of any healthy relationship or healthy family is a family made up of a man, a woman, and children. And because this is how God made it, going by the standards of the Bible, that's my reference. So anybody can say anything. Anybody can write and say anything, but Scripture has defined it. A man leaves his father and mother and join to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. And so for every healthy family, we shall look at what the healthy family should look like. But it should be a family where there is a mother and a father and children. That is number one. Now, let's look at some characteristics we shall consider for a healthy family. Then you will see whether your family is healthy or not healthy. Then identify for yourself to see, is my family healthy or not healthy? Number one, ask yourself this question. Is there ample humor and fun within your family despite the very real demands of daily life? You are in the family. Ask yourself, is there ample humor? You know, do we have time as family? Can we laugh about certain things? In some families and in some homes, no laughing at all. You don't know you laugh. You're laughing at me. But in a healthy family, there should be that kind of environment where we can create humor, where we can create some space for laughter, some space for, to release tension among us. Is there ample humor and fun within your family despite all the demands, especially in these corona times? So much demand, and so your mind is so hot that you can't even crack a joke and laugh before your family. Why? Because, Charlie, things are so hard. There is something happening. Again, it is like that young man, that young woman who is so hungry and wants to eat, yet he cannot eat because he has lost appetite. He can't eat because he has lost appetite. He needs medication. It means that the family needs medication as well. Think about it. Despite corona, despite everything, am I able to create some humor around to make everybody feel relaxed in the family? Number two, does your family have rules that have been clearly stated and are evenly applied, yet are flexible and respond to new situations and changes in the family I'll take it gradually. It's in two parts. One. So we are looking at point number 2, but the first part of it. Does your family have rules that have been clearly stated and are evenly applied? You know, sometimes children love rules. Okay, when there are rules, everybody behaves. But when there are no rules and everything is lawless, he decides to go to bed when he wants. Daddy cannot say anything. Daddy himself sleeps anytime. And mommy does anything at any time. There are no rules. No rules controlling anything. You are free to do anything. No, you can't live in a family like that. It becomes like a jungle. Even in a jungle, there are rules. Yeah, it's true. You see the animals, they are in their corners and they respect the rules. You don't cross this one doesn't cross this one. And they follow some kind of rules. And so in the home, there should be rule. But the second part says, yet they are flexible and they respond to new situations and changes in the family. So make rules. If now you reflect back and say, in my house, do we have rules at all? No, it looks like there are no rules. Now, if I say rules, I'm not saying put some constitution in the home. Like constitution. Come to constitution, the family rule number 1 says this. It says flexibility. Now, the rules are to check everybody so that somebody is confused in the house. What do I do? How do I do this? Goes back to the rule. There are rules in the home. Let the children know you can't go against the rule. When you wake up, you do this. You do that. You do this in the home. But again, remember the flexibility. Other than that, they see you like a tyrant or like a soldier. That's why in some homes, the men want to keep the rule and they overdo it, and the children have problem with the fathers and not the mothers. Because they think that the fathers are too hard. But flexibility in the rules. There should be rule in the home. Number 3, how do we identify a healthy family? How do we identify a healthy family? Ask the question, are the family expectations of each person reasonable? Everyone in the family has expectations, but are the expectations reasonable? Are they realistic? And are they mutually agreed upon and generally fulfilled? So there should be expectation in the family. Each family member or members of the family should have expectations. But the expectations should not be, unreasonable. It should be within the limit of each and everyone. Okay? And it should be realistic. Whatever you are thinking to do as a family, even as individuals, should be realistic. It should be something that is achievable. Not only that, but it should be mutual. It should be one that will be of benefit to one person and another person in the family. So, I want to do this. Why? So that another time it is I, not in the family. It breaks the family. It makes one thing that I am not recognized in the family. The I. My car, I bought this, I bought that, and my this, and I have a project, and I have a project, and I have a project. The other person feels that, no, something is going wrong somewhere. Then there will be tension in the family. So if it were a human being who were hungry, you give him food to eat. He can't eat because he has lost appetite. The interest in the family is gone. The interest to think about your good is gone because he feels that you are pushing me aside and it's only about I. It is about I. But it should be about everyone. So number 3, I take the question again. Ask yourself, are the family expectations of each person reasonable, realistic, and mutually agreed upon and generally fulfilled? You need to think about this. It is very, very important. Number 4, ask yourself, do family members achieve most of their individual goals? And Are their personal needs being met? Ask yourself, are each of the family members or most of them having their individual goals and their personal needs being met? Sometimes we forget about all this and we are thinking about ourselves, forgetting about the rest. The children have needs. The children have goals. If the child says, I want to be a doctor, the child says, I want to be a nurse, can they see that daddy is helping us to get there? Mommy is helping us to get there. Can they see that, oh, they are working together as a team to see us get there? Mommy wants to further her education. Is daddy interested? If that is not agreed upon and it's not mutual, very soon, the beautiful marriage, the love we share, there will be friction. The family will be sick. And one person will be disinterested, who doesn't care about what, like, do whatever you want. Please yourself. Please yourself. Because you're always thinking about this. I want to do this and I want to do that. Mutual agreement. Are individual expectations being met? Are the needs of individuals being met? Family. Number 5, parents and children have genuine respect for one another. Ask yourself that. Do parents and children have genuine respect for one another, demonstrating love, care, trust, and concern, even when there is disagreement? Even when there is disagreement, do we still show some kind of love? Do we still show some kind of concern? Do we still show some kind of empathy or some sympathy for the other person? For some of us, once we quarrel, once we disagree, once we have debated, perhaps it will take us the next 1 month, the next 1.5 months, the next year before we talk. It is not good for a healthy family. So yes, debate, argument, fighting, and all these ones are part of us. We will fight every day. We will disagree every day. Some, I'm sure, I still believe that some are here with their wives. You are here with your wife, with your husband. Yes. If you ask we talk right now, I'm sure when you go and say, did you hear what father say? Did you hear? Did you hear? We will still debate. We will still fight. It is there. Sometimes you made the marriage beautiful. It's interesting. Pardon? You see, but what it is that let us argue, let us debate, let us have quarrels. But even after that, know that the man you have just quarreled with, the woman you have just quarreled with, or your child or your children you have just quarreled with are yours. So after quarreling, then you hear a shout in the kitchen. Hey, mewo, 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 ye. What will be your response? Why? Because we have just quarreled. So whatever happens to her, I don't care. Meanwhile, go and see. Hot water has poured on your wife. She has slipped and fall. She has broken her ankle. And she needs help now. And because of this fight, you have let that blinded you. Oh, you don't care. You should be there. And you are asleep. By the time you realize, the worst had happened. Even for me, I think that whilst we are quarreling, and then she shouts, Adish, hey, sweetheart, what is wrong with you? Are you okay? If she says, okay, let's continue. Okay, if you are okay, then let's continue. In fact, that makes it different from two boxers in a ring. You are not boxers. The man and the woman, you are not fighting for a title or a championship. So when two boxers are competing and hitting one, even blood is coming, the other doesn't mind. Because I have to, until the referee says I've won, I'm not stopping. But here, we are quarreling and you can see that your wife is collapsing. You can see that, my heart, my leg. So they should be concerned. Oh, sweetheart, what is it? Are you okay? What happened to you? Oh, sorry. Can I bring you the medicine? When you are well, then we'll continue. It makes it even it makes the person know that you are not doing it to hurt. I mean, it's disagreement. So we can disagree to agree, as they say. So we are talking about this and that. But if there's care, then there's need to show love. It must come. So the question is, do parents and children have genuine respect for one another, demonstrating love, care, trust, and concern, even when there is disagreement. If there is, they know that your family is healthy. But if there is not, because of this, they know that the family is unhealthy and you need to do something about it. Number 6, ask yourself, is your family able to mature and change without everyone getting upset or unhappy? Can we change something? Can we grow without everyone getting upset or unhappy? Ask yourself. Sometimes they say growth is painful. Growth, they say, is something that some people do not like. Growth can be very, very painful. And as we grow, we change. As we grow, things change. As we grow, there's always some adjustment we need to do. We need to do some adjustment. Now, as we grow, we move away from where we were and how we used to behave some years back. Things change. So both husband and wife need to know and accept. And when children come in, the way the child was when he or she was young will change as the child grows. So we need to understand. And when you were a baby, you were not like that. Now you have grown and see what you are doing. The child you need to understand. You need to know. Other than that, there can be tension in the home because of the child. There can be tension in the home because of the wife. There can be tension because of the husband. And you will not have the peace of mind. You can't even worship your God. You come to church, your mind is somewhere. So ask yourself, as we grow, as we mature, are we able to manage the change? Are we able to bear with one another so that everybody is still happy even as we are growing? Now we've gotten to a stage, you will still grow. Very soon you'll be aging, you'll be getting gray hair. You'll be seeing grandpa. Yeah, they will call you grandpapa. Some people don't like to be called grandpa. Once I'm a young man, call me grandpa. But you are getting there. You are getting there. So as we grow, we need to understand and we need to know that yes, change is part of us. But we must change without, or we must not change and change our happiness or change our situation in that way. Still, we need to know and love one another. Let's look at restoring the family. Now, these are just to help us identify that, well, the family is unhealthy, the family is sick. There may be other points, but we shall consider this for now. So how do we restore the family physically? Number 1, you need to treat the children as individual. You need to treat each and every one in the family as individual. So the question, do you treat each one or each child as an individual? Bear that in mind. In restoring the family physically, ask yourself, am I dealing with them as individual? Each child is different. Your wife is still different. Everyone is an individual. Everyone has his strength and weakness. So are your children. Don't put them together and deal with them as a group. They will not like it. See Kojo as Kojo. See Kwame as Kwame. See this person as that. I was in a family with a family before. Then, as we threw mass questions round, the younger one quickly will answer. Papa, she will give that even without calculating. She'll give the answer. Then the big sister will have to sit down and then crack the brains, and then before she gets the answer, even that she gets it wrong. We throw the question, the younger one gets it fast, and the elderly one struggle too. Then I asked the question, looks like this girl does not like mathematics. Then the mother said yes. As for the younger one, she's very good in maths. But the elderly one is also good with writing. As young as she is, she has even written stories. Whole stories, story, like a storybook. And poem. Beautiful. But the mother has identified that each of them have their stronghold. And so she tells this one, don't worry. Yours is this. And this one, hers is that. So everybody should should grow in your strength. So they are all comfortable. Even though she's not good in maths, she's not worried. She's not bothered because she knows that when it comes to poetry, when it comes to writing stories, I am also good. My younger sister cannot do it. I hope you understand. Else there will be tension in the home. This one will always feel that daddy doesn't love me, mommy doesn't love me. This one will feel that this person doesn't love me. So please, treat the children as individual, as one person. As one person, and let them appreciate one another. They should appreciate what each other has. The same way also your wife. Let her know that your wife is also an individual. She also has a strength and weakness. Build on her strength. Build on her strength. If you keep hating the weakness and today too, every day I teach you one and you are not getting it. Every day I have to be saying one thing every day. I say one thing every day. Maybe you have never even appreciated her. When she does something right or good, you have never even said thank you to her. Oh, sweetheart, this one is nice. And sometimes some of the women too, when they say, oh, today I've done this one that they have said today. This one that they have said today, tomorrow it will reverse. Accept it, receive it, and build on it. So treat each and everyone as an individual. So we say the point there is individualize your relationship with each one of them. Make your relationship with your children individual. But 2, restoring the family physically. You need to have a regular routine for the family. Now, what we mean by regular routine is that it has been identified that children like day-to-day routines, like you have a morning schedule, or you have assignment for them. You have just like making a rule, okay, for them. In some homes, there are no routine. The only routine is that the children wake up and today they can eat before they come and brush their teeth, or they wake up and go and watch television. When they are tired, they come and sleep and wake up and eat. Everything is just mixed up. There should be routine. Tell them. So, rule number, when you wake up, number 1, the first thing you do is this. The next thing you do is that. The next thing you do is then you follow the routine. Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done this? I hope you understand. There should be routine so that they follow. When they wake up, they know. Wake up, hey, I have to go and wash the plate. I have to go and sweep here. This place is my portion. If I don't sweep, Daddy will come and ask me. If I don't do this, Mommy will come and ask me. And they have their time. It's time for learning. Hey, if Daddy comes and they are not learning, he will get angry. So quickly, they will know the routine. But if you leave them without any routine, they will do anything. And when you get to a point, you cannot control them anymore. So, and then also, as part of the routine, there should be bedtime. Today, the children are sleeping after 11, after 12. Why? Because Daddy is not sleeping early. Mommy is not sleeping early. Set bedtime for the children. 10 o'clock, light out. Everybody sleeps at 10. So some go to school and light out the school at 10. When they come home, light out is 2 a.m. Some will leave, they watch movie the whole night. They're watching the movie the whole night. And when it's time to go to church, oh, Mommy, I didn't sleep well last night. I didn't sleep well. Oh, okay. He didn't sleep well. Let's allow her to sleep. Let's go to church and come. Next week, we'll give the same excuse. Another time, we'll give the same excuse. But let's set the routine. There should be some kind of routine at home so that we are sure that at this time, the children are here. At this time, they are doing this or that in the house, both for the husband and the wife. Remember, it should be mutual. Remember that, mutual. Not only because I want it that way, but we want it that way. Number 3, be active in the activities of the extended family and then the community. There are some people these days, we have kept to ourselves so much. We have kept to ourselves so much. Sometimes in the estate, we are just there. We don't even know our neighbors. We don't know who they are. We don't know where they are coming from. We don't know their names and nothing. Perhaps the time we only talk to our neighbors is when we need their help. But how can you do that? Know your neighbors at least. Know who they are. Know something about them before anything happens. God forbid, by the day there will be fire in your house and you can't put it out alone, will you go and shout, neighbor, 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 oh fire, oh fire. I say, do off it alone. Get to know your neighbors. Be part of the community and then the extended family as well. These days we have become so busy for the extended family. Once a while we go for family meeting with the children. Once a while we go to family gatherings and all that. These days it is rather unfortunate that some wives do not want to see their in-laws. I don't. If he doesn't want to see me, I don't want to see her. But you have forgotten that the man you have married was born by that woman. You have forgotten that the woman you have married was born by that woman. Never despise the extended family. Never despise your in-laws, no matter what. No matter what, have time for your in-laws because it is also part of the family. Number 4, let your expectations of the family be realistic. Let your expectations be realistic. Very, very, very realistic. The expectations of your husband, let it be realistic. The expectations of your wife, let them be realistic. The expectation of the children, let them be realistic. You know that your husband now, the work is not going on well. COVID has affected everything. Now he's taking half the salary. And still you want him to do the things I've been doing before Corona. Things have changed. Understand. Let your expectation be realistic. Oh, can't you see that your friend has changed car? He has bought car for the wife, and we are still in the same car we were using since you were in SS. You know, be realistic. Can he afford it? Is it possible? You will know that, oh, I like those days when my mother would tell me that, oh, you know, your father now, these days, his work is not too good, so people should bear with him. That is what we want. Not the wife can say, hey, oh, he has money, oh, share. Maybe the money has been given to go and do some contract, and you saw him counting the money. Hey, he's going to buy material to do the work. He can't give the material money to you. So let it be realistic. You have expectation from your husband, you have expectation from your wife, but let it be realistic. Realistic. Very, very, very important. Okay. Then, let the time you spend with the family contribute to a good relationship in a family. Make it your goal. Tell yourself, anytime you are with the family, that time you spend with the family is not a time to bring about quarrel or debate or confusion. Tell yourself, anytime I meet with the family, I want to put some smile on the face of the children and my wife. You can do it. Sometimes it's nice in movies, and I don't want to think that it's only in movies. When the wife comes and then they hug each other, they kiss each other. Can I take your bag? Can I do this? Can I do that? Sometimes we start for a while in a marriage, and after that, shoop, is there. You can find it again. So the time you spend at home should contribute to a good relationship. Good relationship. So that when you go to work and do all the other things and come back at home, there should be good relationship. Very good one with ourselves and the family. Spend time making fun. Relax. Relatively, there should be no conflict. It should be conflict free. Anytime you are in the family, make up your mind that no, there will be no conflict. And work towards it. Work towards it. So some plan the fight right at work. Plan the fight today, dear. Today I will show her pepper. When I go, so even when you open the door, the first thing, bang, 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 bang. You don't mind whether the children are there or they are not there. Then there's tension. The whole house looks like it's heavy. Nobody can laugh. Nobody can. If you want to go and take the TV remote, hey, Master, Tiger did it. Tiger. And that's the name they have given you. You don't know. Call it Tiger did it, and Tigress is in the. He's there. He's here. The house should be a place where you can breathe. When you're at work and your bosses are on you, there's tension on you. When you come home, you go, I am home. That is how the home should be. Where you are welcome. And after everything, when the night falls and you end the night, very beautiful, in the arms of your wife, in the arms of your husband. Then so that you can make us who are priests jealous. So that maybe if a priest sees you and asks you, oh, how was your night? Oh, Father, it was beautiful in the arms of my wife. It was beautiful in the arms of my husband. Your father will be jealous. But if I sit in my office or in the counseling room and come, oh, Father, when we sleep, it is face to face, back to back. He's here, he's here. I say, we are all the same because we do ceiling to ceiling. So let's sleep and look at the ceiling. Let's sleep and look at the wall. So if you are two, that you should be better than us, and you are still doing what we are doing. And then I hope you understand. I think it will be a nice thing. So that going back to the same adage again, if you don't take out that rotten tooth, then now you have to chew with caution. Because when you go back there in the night and you want to hold him, hey, don't touch me. Then you have been frustrated since morning. Frustrated in the office. In the night you have been frustrated again. You wake up with frustration. You go back to the office frustration. If you are not careful, it will follow you all the days of your life. But we reject it in Jesus' name. Yes. But at a point, you should end it. If it needs you to go on your knees and say, sweetheart, I'm begging you. This one day, I am begging you. Only the two of you, but she will sit alone. Nobody will see it. When you come out, you are the man. But if you go in there, I am begging you, for the sake of the children, for the sake of the family, for the sake of the vows we have made, let us restore this family. If God has brought the two of us together, we don't know why, but it is for something good. Let us work at it. And then make the effort. Let your wife see you making the effort. Let your husband see that you are making the effort. So that you will help yourself. We are human. We will keep making mistakes. Don't forget that. If your wife is still making a mistake, please remember that she is human. If your husband is still making a mistake, know that she is human. Okay? Anyone who makes a mistake, know that the person is human. But we are making the effort. Let the person see that my husband is trying. I can see he's trying these days. Compliment his help. Compliment the help. Don't allow him to think that, I've done everything. She's not seeing anything. So because of that, I don't care again. Work at it. Gradually. Small. The words. Later on, we'll look at what in the next part. The words you use. The words you use at home. They are all part of it. It's like a disease. You don't know where a disease will come from. It can come from the head, it can come from the ear, it can come from that. But when it affects that part of the body, it affects every part of the body. It affects every part. So be careful with what you allow into your family, the things you do inside in the family. If not, it will go a long way to make the family unhealthy. The family may be limping, the family may be coughing, the family may be sneezing, the family may be having high temperatures. Simply because it is unhealthy, it is sick. It is the time to restore the family physically. In the part 2, we shall look at how to restore the family spiritually. Thank you very much for your audience. Thank you for listening to me. God richly bless you.